We almost died on an island once. Okay, died is dramatic, but 6 adults, a borrowed pontoon boat, a lake we didn't know well, and a thunderstorm that we absolutely should have avoided. It got real. It all started with a house that was for sale. 2 of our friends really wanted to see a place that was for sale on the lake. We had all week we could have seen it, but they really wanted to see it at this particular moment. As we're heading out, friends of ours who had lent us this boat that we're on passed us on the water, and they said, "Hey, storm's coming." You could already see the dark clouds forming. Our friends waved them off, like, "No, we're fine, we're fine." This is like classic. So we see the house. We try to rush the guys. Hey, let's get back in the boat. Let's get back to our cabin. The sky is getting darker faster than we expected, or maybe about as fast as I had expected. Lightning is starting to show up in the horizon, and our friends on the boat pass us again on their way to shore, right over there. This time with a look on their faces that's like, what is wrong with you people? Still, these 2 guys were determined to get us back to the cabin, full speed ahead. Meanwhile, my wife is Googling, what are the chances of lightning striking a pontoon boat? Another one of the wives is laughing hysterically, having the time of her lives. I'm highly suggesting that we just go to shore right there, hang out with our friends in safety. Nobody's listening to me. The water all of a sudden gets shallow, real fast. We don't know the lake. We hit bottom. The motor dies, and we kind of beached ourselves next to a small island with houses on it, but full rainstorm. We're talking rain is pelting us in the faces. We push the boat to the island. We tie it to a dock. We knock on the doors of multiple houses. Lights are off. Nobody's home. But we find a little sunroom attached to one of these houses that happened to be unlocked. We shuffle inside like drowned raccoons, and we waited out the storm in a complete stranger's house. It's fine. Our friend eventually came and rescued us, and we still talk about this story to this day. Andrea and I have 2 other couples that we do life with. One that we met in college, and then the other I worked at a camp with over the summers a long time ago. Our stories, they overlap in that weird, only God can orchestrate this kind of way. For years, Andrew and I tried to convince both of these families to move to the city that we lived in. It was a cool city, lots of restaurants, it was trendy. They should obviously want to be here because we're here too. They loved their small town, dirt roads, the whole thing. Nobody was moving. And then something shifted for Andrew and me. We felt like maybe we were the ones that were supposed to move. Not to a better neighborhood or a bigger house, but toward them. So we called them and we said something like, "Hey, we think that God might be moving us up to where you guys are at, to love each other well and to love our neighbors together. But we're only going to do this if you guys are in for this adventure with us." They didn't hesitate. A mentor friend of ours watched all of this and ended up giving us this nickname, SEAL Team 6. He could see that we were 3 families locked in, committed to doing life together no matter what it cost, kids included. But honestly, the name that fits better for us is FAM. It stands for Family on Mission. That's what we actually are. 3 families, a whole pile of kids, and a shared conviction that we're better together than we'd ever be apart. When we go on vacation together, we'll create a Google folder and share all of our photos in there. And we always I'm sharing all of our secrets here, but we name it FAM Rex and then fill in the name of the city. So FAM Rex Traverse City, whatever it is. We're a lot, but in the best way possible. Rewind. 2016. It was a brutal year for my business. I was working so hard, harder than I'd ever worked, trying to manufacture success through like sheer willpower and hustle. Just the hardest I could work, and nothing was clicking. Every week, every day, it felt like I'm pushing a boulder uphill and then watching it roll back down. I was exhausted and embarrassed, and honestly, I was lost. I remember we were sitting in our Florida room of our house, not the one that we barged in on. We're sitting at this table. We had just had a meal, and we're hanging out, the six of us. Just the same kind of hangout that we had done 100 times before. Someone asked me, "Hey, how's work going?" And in that moment, I just broke. Not like a single tear, but dignified kind of, well, maybe not dignified, the ugly kind of broke. I couldn't hold it together anymore. All of it came out. The fear, the frustration, the shame of feeling like I was failing. And I remember my friend Jay looked at me and said, without hesitation, "Dude, whatever you need, we've got you. Groceries, mortgage payment, whatever, we're here." That's a 5-second moment. I've been reading a book lately, Storyworthy by Matthew Dix, and one of his core ideas is that the most important moments in our lives aren't the big dramatic ones. They are the tiny, almost invisible moments where something shifts. 5 seconds that change everything. Jay's words were 5 seconds. I didn't need groceries. I didn't need the mortgage payment. I mean, that stuff would have been nice, but what I really needed to know was that someone was in it with me, that I wasn't alone in the dark, and in 5 seconds, I had my answer. Last week, one of our friends in our group lost his dad, and we gathered, we cried, we sat with them in that particular kind of grief that it doesn't have a fix. And somewhere during that time, I felt it again, that same thing that I felt at the table in 2016, that I'm not alone in this, that we're not alone in this. Life is short, we know this, but we don't always feel it until loss shows up at the door and reminds us. And in those moments, what matters, it's not the revenue or the strategy or my content calendar for my business, it's who is sitting next to you. So here's where I think this connects to something that I think about a lot in my work. The people that you surround yourself with in business matter. Not just the ones who hype you up or tell you, "Man, you're crushing it," but the ones who will sit with you when you're not. The ones who ask the hard questions. The ones who've been where you're trying to go and will tell you the truth about what it actually took. The ones who will say, "We've got you," when you're at your worst. That's what a great mastermind is. It's not a networking group. It's not a webinar dressed up as community. It's actual people in your corner. I lead a small group. I've been in a mastermind for years. I've paid to be in this group. It has been so impactful for me. It's allowed me to feel a part of something bigger than me. It's felt like I have this board of advisors, these people that are with me in my business and a part of my personal life. And then I have the honor to lead a small group. 12 seats, that's it, for entrepreneurs who are building something real and doing it mostly alone. If you've never had a group like that, I want you to at least consider what it might mean for where you're trying to go in your business. And if you have had something like it before and you're kind of in between groups right now, maybe it's time to hop back into something like that. Quick recommendation before I let you go here. Go grab Storyworthy by Matthew Dix. It's going to change how you think about your own story. When I meet with business owners, so much of the conversation is the same. It's the same thing when I started my business over 20 years ago, when I would sit with people and say like, man, we need to tell your story. And people would be like, nah, there's nothing special about my story. That is a lie. That is not true. We all have these 5-second moments in our lives where something changes, something clicks. But most people just think that nothing interesting has happened to them. And my job, I feel like, part of what I'm here to do is to help remind you that you've got 5-second moments scattered throughout your life that shaped everything, and you just haven't slowed down enough to notice them yet. And those stories can help other people. As you're building your business, your brand, whatever it is, those stories can help you build the culture that you want, help you work with the kind of people that you want, help you get the kind of clients that you want. The reason why I'm doing this YouTube channel and I've created my newsletter is because I'm trying to notice more of my own stories and highlight them to encourage you to share your story. So if you're finding encouragement, or you're just feeling like, man, that's cool, you have those same stories too. Okay, trust me. I'm grateful that you're here. If you like this video, hit the like button. It helps get more views on it or something like that. I say something like that, like I don't know how the algorithm works. Leave a comment if you have something that you want to share. I would love to read those. If you're not connected to my newsletter, you can get the weekly emails at ryancoral.com. But I just want to say thank you for being here. Also, if you're kind of in that space where you're like, man, a mastermind, that sounds really interesting, you want to know more about that, reach out. I would love to share more about this group that I'm launching again soon. I've got one going. I'm going to start another group, and when we get to 12 people, we're capping it. So if that's at all interesting, then reach out. But again, appreciate you being here. Make some time to reflect and to find a story that changed everything for you and share that with somebody. It'll make a difference. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. See you next time.